Whether you're watching this from Lesotho, South Africa, the States, or anywhere else in the world, welcome. I'm so glad you've tuned in to celebrate something truly special. My name is Boipelo Mabe, and I have the great pleasure of being your host. Today, we're not just launching a book, we're unveiling a powerful resource for dreamers, doers, and queens in the making. Now, let me introduce you to the phenomenal woman behind it all. She is a 20-time pageant title holder, an award-winning humanitarian, a health professional with a master's in public health who is an advocate for mental health, a commercial model, entrepreneur, and just all-round powerhouse. She's been recognized as one of the top 5 women in leadership and development in Lesotho and honored as Woman of the Year by the Emerge Africa Awards. She also happens to be a very good friend of mine, and today she steps into a new role of author. Please join me virtually in welcoming the incredible Mojabeng Ndebele, author of Pageant Compass.
Hi, B.
Hey! Wow. Mojabeng, a big congratulations on the launch of Pageant Compass.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited.
Let's get right into it, my friend. So tell us, what is Pageant Compass all about?
Well, it's a pageant winning manual. I wrote from the idea that I would like pageant women to come into pageantry more strategic. I found that you can be born with a lot of qualities that are needed in winning a pageant, but preparation is key. There's a lot that goes into actually winning a pageant. So that's where it comes from being strategic and forward thinking and being intentional about entering a pageant. And yeah, just making sure that we have a resource as women in pageantry, a resource that we can go back to when we approach pageantry and to really just win. We all want to win.
Of course. And you know, reading this manual, for me, it was just such an enlightenment. As a former pageant queen myself, I was like, oh, I wish I had something like this.
Me too.
You know, before entering all of those pageants. But I guess that's what makes this so special. A 20-time pageant title holder. Of course, you have the experience to tell us, you know, exactly what it is that, you know, one needs to be preparing for something like this. So as much as, you know, I was reading and seeing the content in here, I realized that it's not only just for pageant queens. I felt as if this is a manual someone can use for winning at life.
Yes.
But with that said, I really want you to dive in and tell us, who is this manual for?
I love that. So the manual is technically for anybody that wants to enter the pageant world or pageant women who are already in the industry. You can polish your skills, your knowledge, regardless which point of your career you're in. So whether it's your first time entering a pageant, whether you've been in pageantry for 5-10 years, this manual is for you. But also, if you're just a human being that is trying to build their confidence and trying to win at life, then this manual is also for you, because it is quite strategic and very practical. There's tables and it's a toolkit, basically.
That's what I actually loved about it. The fact that I could flip to any page and get information on anything,
yes.
Right? And I just love how it's also set up. I wish our viewers could actually, you know, get a glimpse of this, but you know, it's literally a manual on how to win. But I actually love how it's set up. That was very strategic, so well done.
Thank you so much. So I get we're also trying to make sure that it's not very heavy. Yes. While we want people to read, we also want them to feel like they're having fun while they're reading. So another thing that I am so proud of the approach to writing the manual was that I wanted to make sure that my experiences and the experiences of other pageant winners is reflected in the manual. So I have this line that says, "May the pageant compass always locate you."
Absolutely. I love
Even
that.
as I was writing it, I was like, okay, this sounds tacky, but I love it. Yes.
Yeah, now, there's still a lot of discussions around the relevance of pageants. And here you are presenting us with a manual on how to win at pageants. Can we talk to that? Why is this book relevant in this year?
So, this is such an important topic, eh? I have no idea how many times I've had this discussion, but I think each to their own, really. Pageantry is one of the things that I love with all of my heart, and I believe that I'm the person that I am because of pageantry. I have the confidence to stand in front of people that are in bigger positions than mine in the workplace, people that have been in my industry forever, people who have lots of experience, who have been more global than I have, because of the confidence that I gained from pageantry. I am purpose-driven because of pageantry, and that is why I'm able to instill the same kind of mentality to younger generations because of pageantry. So even how the manual is set up, I mean, it speaks to the etiquette of a queen, like cross your legs at your feet, or but it also speaks to how to prioritize your mental health. It speaks to how to build your confidence, how to get rid of the nerves, and then it speaks to financial preparation. It is basically a manual to winning at life. And that, I don't think there's anything more relevant than that. And that comes from pageantry.
Speaking of which, let me cross my legs and my
See,
feet.
we're
already
learning.
learning.
It's already working.
I love everything that you've just said, MJ, and as a former pageant queen myself, that's something I can really attest to. Everything that I learned from the speaking, from putting yourself out there, is everything that I am now using in my career in a corporate space, in a corporate environment. And I think those are the small things or elements that not a lot of people who are not in pageants get exposed to or get to understand, that it's more than just the beauty parade. It's more than just, the pretty pictures and the pretty dresses, but what the young women and men, put themselves through to get to that polished presentation that people get to see. But I think what's important that you highlighted, and which I love so much, is the personal growth, the internal stretching that takes place.
And then more than that, like pageantry is a platform for changing the world, basically. And I think having experience being in that world, and when you love it so much and you do it with all of your heart, then that is the person you become. In every aspect of your life, that is what is in the forefront. How am I changing the world? How is what I'm doing benefiting another human being? So I sit in my office all day, and when I'm working, I'm at the back of my mind, I'm thinking, there is so much impact that I'm making in the rural areas of my country, and so many young women are benefiting. They're getting health services because of the work that I'm doing. And that sometimes is the only reason I'm able to wake up and go to work. So I think that approach to life of thinking about others and having, a bigger purpose that is bigger than who you are, bigger than yourself. I think that is phenomenal. Yeah, and that comes from pageantry. Yeah.
I mean, to be a 20-time pageant title holder means you have entered many pageants.
Very many. Actually, more than I have won or walked out with any award.
Of course, right? I mean, how many interviews do you go for before you land the job?
Right.
But I want to know, there's a lot of information out there on how to get ready for a pageant, right? What makes Pageant Compass so important or different?
Like I said, preparation is key. So the way the manual is written is there's step-by-step guides to help you prepare. You have checklists, you have tables that help you, locate everything that you need from a hairpin to preparing financially, so that you are prepared to the T for the pageant. There's also tools that help, that allow you to actually be the one that's entering the data you want to capture. Like if you want to write a list of things that you need, there's a tool for that, and you can do that. If you want to write I need this on this date, and yes, this is the amount that I need, you have that in the manual. And I think that is, a tool that could have done. Maybe I would have probably not entered as many pageants if I had the manual.
Had you had that?
Because it also helps, it also guides you in the kind of pageant to enter. Because, we don't always know what, we look at a pageant and then we think, let me enter. But then that is not your pageant. So the compass helps you locate, identify the kind of pageant that you should enter. It then also helps you avoid things like pageant scams, which were things that some of us were not, advantaged to have known.
Okay, now let's talk access. Where can people get this incredible guide from?
So globally, you can get it from Amazon, and then at select stores in South Africa and Lesotho.
Oh, I love that. Globally. We are global people.
Of course.
And just right now, we are about to enter hectic pageant season. What words of encouragement or any words that you would give to young women who have prepared themselves to enter a pageant or are looking to enter a pageant? What about Pageant Compass can they really gain from it at this point of the game?
Well, get yourself a copy. You need a copy. And I think what anybody that is entering a pageant or is within a pageant already can gain from this manual is being able to find what their life purpose is, which in pageantry, when you know, then you've won already. It will also help you to quickly identify if this really is your path, to avoid, wasting your time, and a lot of, stress and things that you may not need in your life. From the manual, one will walk away knowing what their life purpose is. And I think that for me is it's a big deal, because we have entered pageants and thought, this is what I want to get out of it. And Kanti, you get something else. But then it also helps you be intentional in what you want to get out of the pageant. It also helps you, there's a section on who are you as a competitor. I love that section because I think it helps you interrogate yourself so that you walk into the space as the best version of yourself, as a better version of the person that you were before you read the manual, and then helping you, guiding you to walk out of the pageant as the best version of yourself. Yes, so you definitely need a copy of Pageant Compass.
Of course, and it's available worldwide. Yes. So tell me, MJ, how long did it take to put something like this together?
So I wrote this manual in 2021.
Wow, so that's almost 5 years ago.
Almost 5 years ago. I wrote it in 2021 and then I just kept it in my laptop. I was like, I'll see it.
Why
later.
now?
So I'm inspired now. I feel like I wrote it because I knew there was a gap, because we don't have many resources as pageant women, as the industry doesn't have a lot of resources. I knew that was a gap, and because I'm a writer, I love writing. I write for a living. I've been writing since I was a child, and I've always wanted to publish a book. I'm writing an anthology right now, collection of poems. So one day when I'm inspired enough, I will release that as well.
Yes.
So I'm inspired now. I think being a first-time mom, planning for that aspect of my life, so that's why I paused. And now that is like on pause a little bit, I was like, it's time.
It's time.
My pageant ladies need me right now, and I was like, I'm gonna come through.
I love that. So one of the work that you do and one of the things that you are is a mental health advocate. And I am sure we can go very deep into just some of the challenges that pageant competitors experience around mental health. What does the book have to do or say about that? And what is your position when it comes to mental health and pageantry?
I think that's very important. What the Pageant Compass says about mental health in the world of pageantry is, I wrote in a more prevention is better than cure perspective. So that you walk into the industry and you already have measures to taking care of your mental health. That's how it's positioned. And then my opinion and my experiences is that we need resources like this that have constant reminders for us when we're in the industry of pageantry from A to Z, because there's different challenges, there's different ways that we will see ourselves, there's different triggers to the people that we are, to our backgrounds, and we meet different kinds of people. So we need to be strategic, we need to be ready, and we need to know how to control ourselves, things like that. And they are all inside Pageant Compass.
Mojabeng, thank you for your heart. Thank you for your insight, and thank you for giving the world this gift.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. Yay!